Yo, what's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be looking at the Sterling by Musicman Ray 4 Sub-Series bass. Whew, that is a long title. We're going to be looking at the ins and outs of the bass, how it sounds, how to get the most out of it, and also, is it worth it for the price? And I'm also going to be doing a giveaway of this bass at the end of the video, so make sure you stick around until then. So let's jump into it. So we got the Sterling Musicman Ray 4. Okay, this is a 4-string active bass. Now this bass is a little bit different than probably some basses I've played on this channel. It is active, but I've never actually had a bass that had a humbucker as a pickup, which gives it a little bit of a different tone than what you probably have heard on this channel before. It has a 2-band EQ, which is just the master volume, the highs, and the lows. And then of course the jack right here is on the front. Since it's an active bass, it has a 9-volt battery compartment on the back where you can easily access and replace your 9-volt battery. It also has a standard bridge, open gear tuners, which is pretty normal for this style bass. Now this has a nice maple fretboard and a bolt-on neck, which is really nice. So what's really cool about this bass that's a little bit different for basses in this price range is that it has this really cool area for you to adjust your truss rod. This is a single action truss rod, which is adjustable right here at the top of the neck. Usually you would see adjustment right here where you have to stick a tool through and adjust right here. But right here is a kind of a better spot, I feel like. And I've heard that this truss rod responds pretty well when adjusted. So for a bass that's around $200 to $300, this is built extremely well and can be modified to be even better. That's probably the one thing straight out of the box that I noticed, is that the build quality on this bass is super, super top notch. For a $200 to $300 bass, this is really, for this, most times they're not looking at build quality as being a priority. But I've noticed on here that the edges of the frets are very rounded and very nice, and it doesn't really have much buzz, and it feels pretty good. Now, I will say this, straight out of the box, you're gonna probably wanna modify it if you're a gospel to R&B type player playing a lot of pop and funk music, because the action's a little bit high for my taste, whenever I first open it up. But if you're a beginner or something like that, don't, worry, that's totally fine. But for all of my experienced players, and you like a lower action, you can drop the action to this pretty low and it not buzz at all, which is super dope. I will say when you open this bass out of the box, there's a couple of things that you'll notice, especially when you plug it in. The output is really high, so it's really loud because it has that battery and it's an active bass. But I don't necessarily love the humbucker tone. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really love that tone. If it were me, I would probably, modify my electronics just a little bit. I don't think it would take much, or even just buy a better humbucker or pickup for this little spot right here. All right, so let's take a listen to what this bass sounds like. Here's gonna be me playing straight out of the box, not adjusting anything on the bass, no action or anything. This is just straight out of the box, completely dry signal, nothing on it. So after playing it a little bit straight out of the box, I noticed that the action was really high and it really wasn't very comfortable for me. I played it a little bit and got a little bit comfortable with it, but it still wasn't like what I'm used to, and it didn't just feel great, especially for that gospel and R&B and funk style playing. So all I did is just lower the action just with one of the tools that came with the bass. And I just lowered the action maybe like 2 turns on all of the strings. And man, it changed the way I played this bass completely. So here's what it sounds like after I made my little modification to the action. All right, so now let's see what this bass sounds like in context with other instruments in a track. So who is this bass made for? So I would say this bass is made for beginner to intermediates. If you're a beginner player, you know, this will be a little bit of a high action, but it'll be good for you. It'll be good, and it'll be nice loud bass if you really want a bass that is active, that's not a crazy amount of money. This is a great bass for that. This bass is also for people who like modding basses, because this is just a great solid body, really well built, great build quality on this bass. And you can change out pretty much anything you want to, and it will respond pretty well to anything you do to it. So if you're a R&B, funk, gospel, type player, don't be afraid of this bass. Even though it seems like, oh man, it doesn't sound amazing straight out of the box, or it doesn't feel like R&B, gospel straight out of the box, doesn't mean it cannot be. So if you are someone who doesn't play rock, or who doesn't really know this bass, and you've only heard things about it in rock scene and all that kind of stuff, don't be afraid of it, because you can mod it and make it feel amazing. So now the big question is this bass worth the price? It's $289 at the time of recording this video. I would, in my opinion, make some tweaks before I really start playing it and using it. But it's really cheap, and actually really, like, all the tweaks that I did was free. So don't feel like if you buy the bass, you're going to have to immediately spend like another $100, $200 to make it feel good. All you have to do is tweak the action and probably change out the electronics if you don't like the sound of it, and that's it. So in my opinion, this bass is worth the price if you want a bass that you can customize and make your own, but also just have a really well-built bass. So if you're interested in more about this bass and more specs and different things, check out my link in the description where you can check out all the ins and outs of this bass in more of a detailed form. Now I'm going to be giving away one of these basses, and the way you enter this giveaway is just going to my website, travisdykesmusic.com, and inputting your email right there on the home page where it says subscribe to newsletter and get updates and all that kind of stuff. Put your email there and your name will be in the hat for the giveaway. I will be announcing the winner 2 weeks after this video is posted on my channel. So be on the lookout after you sign up. So if you guys have this bass, or have a bass like this that you've modded before, and you're just like, man, these are some of my favorite mods, or anything like that, feel free, let me know in the comments, because I may be doing a video modding this and I want to hear what you guys do to yours so I can learn as well. So thank you guys. I will see you next time.